I had this opportunity to visit a few Zen centers in Europe, Kwanum School. One of the Zen centers was in Spain, Porisa. I don't know, probably some of you have been there. It's a beautiful place. The mountain, it's a little less beautiful than Musangsa. I really enjoy the things there, everything, the practice, people, and the food. And then because the Zen center is on the uphill, so if you stand from where the buildings are, actually you can take a kind of grandiose view. It's in the mountain. And then, I don't know, about 200 meters down there, there was some small kind of road that leads to France if you go a couple of 100 kilometers. And one day I decided to take a walk down there after lunch because there was about 1.5, maybe 2 hours break time. And then I decided to take the path, the road I used to see, where the cows around and then eating the grass. And then I never expected, but when I went down the road, I just encountered one cow, actually bulls, with a horn. When you see from the far away, they look so peaceful. Maybe it's when you think about Musangsa from your country, then I go there, I will sit in this beautiful, then you came here, every morning you have a kimchi, spicy kimchi. you not kimchi, that's not true. Actually, he changed it. They're more oatmeal these days. So anyway, from far distance, it looked so beautiful and peaceful. The cows look just, like a very tamed beings. But then I just encountered on the road, all other cows were just eating the grass, but just one were just by the road. I was just walking, and it just was staring on me. I think that's male because it has this beautiful kind of twisted horn. And then, but it was so intense, his eyes and the big guy. And the horn, suddenly, all my attention was this horn, sharp. And why? Suddenly I thought, I'm in the Spain. A bullfight. It was exactly that cow, the bulls looked like that. The horn and the eyes were kind of looked brutal. I don't know, it looked like that to me at that moment. So, but it wouldn't really turn, it just kept staring on me. And I was a little hesitate. I just keep walking, go through that I planned, or I just go back. But I suddenly thought about it's so funny because why do I think about this? And then I just, okay, breathe in, breathe out. What is this? Good chance to test. And just I kept walking. I didn't look at it. I just walked. And nothing happened. Thinking is not just bad things because I have a lot of this experience. If I have some very impressive moment, it always connects with what I can talk about during Dharma talk. So, sometimes the thinking thought works for very good way. Thinking itself is not good or bad, exactly. So anyway, one chapter in Dropping Ashes on the Buddha, the Zen Master Seung Sahn's book, he talked about this consciousness only doctrine. You know this? Mind only? You say mind only? So it's one of the most difficult, probably Buddhist text. Many scholars try to get PhD, these Buddhist students if they are studying university with this. And it's very, very, I heard, I didn't read it because I heard it's very difficult, and why do I give me suffering? So, but anyway, I heard it's very difficult to understand. And there are a lot of difficult, actually, terms and words. And then Seung Sahn Sunim talked about that, and very simply, because it's all about this human consciousness. So sixth consciousness, and what is there? Seventh consciousness, and then eighth consciousness. So sixth consciousness about all this, our, you know that, right? What's that? And then seventh consciousness called discriminating. Discriminating? Does anybody know that? Yeah, this word. So, which means a good, bad, or right, wrong, like, dislike. It all discriminate and distinguish what's good for you, what's bad for you, what's good thought, what's bad thought. So he was using this time when we are chanting to help you to understand all about this consciousness. So we will chant this evening. We did already in the morning. So if you think about that time, when we chant, sitting also same. You can actually apply to your probably practice too. When we chant and then we understand what we have to do, we should do, right? Completely become one with this sound. Perceive your own voice, perceive others' voice, and becoming one. But it's not easy. So suddenly, this is some memory, maybe good thought, like a memory or bad memory suddenly appear in your mind, while your mouth is still chanting. And then this is called actually eighth consciousness. In other words, in Korean we call that aroyashik. It's a storage consciousness. So you don't know, when I saw the cow, how can I think about this bullfighting and this whole thing? If I have never watched or heard about these bullfighting things or Spain, why does it just suddenly pops in my mind when I saw that? So this store consciousness works in such way. When you meditate, some people have a lot of thinking, good thinking, bad thinking, usually bad thinking. I can see people's face. No one really smile. So sometimes you can remember, and just this memory just brought back to you. So that's eighth consciousness. And then I just mentioned about the seventh consciousness, right? It's about discrimination, the sense of discrimination, distinguishing what's good or bad, what's right or wrong. So suddenly your seventh consciousness start judging. I'm chanting. I shouldn't think about this. I have to just return to this moment, perceive my voice, perceive the others. So now they are fighting. Sixth consciousness, your body, your will, chanting, but actually your memory keeps popping up. Eighth consciousness. And then there are another seventh consciousness. Don't do this. Come back to here. Don't think about that. Come back to this moment. And then this, all consciousness kind of in the battle. And what happens for many people, even like becoming one-mindedness is very difficult. If you have two mind in your mind, two mind, and it's already confusing, but there are now three minds fighting. It's very difficult. But sometimes more than three. then we call that's actually very difficult. So, fortunately, he said there is a ninth consciousness. Oh yeah, what can be? What is that ninth consciousness? He said this is ninth consciousness, which is called, named Buddha nature. So just return to this primary point. That is actually Buddha nature. He named it ninth consciousness. So everyone actually has it. Everyone has it. No matter what kind of method you use, the point is actually to return to this point. Then things become clear.